Just off the Orange Freeway, we're here live from Angel Stadium of Anaheim. It's Game 1 of the World Series between the Chicago Cubs and the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Hi again, everybody. Matt Vasgersian. Welcome to the World Series here on the show. It's the moment these players have been waiting for. Game 1 of the Fall Classic is on the show, and it's coming up next. Shohei Ohtani gets the call on the mound here at home for Game 1 of the World Series. What do you have for us on him, Danny?
Hey, it's hard to have all 4 of your pitches on, but I think if this guy can have 2 or 3 of his 4 pitches and have command of them, he's going to have a really good game.
In now is Nico Horner, and we are set for baseball here this evening.
The second baseman, Nico Horner.
Ready to deal. Here comes the first pitch. And the first pitch of the night here is taken for ball 1, and we're underway in Anaheim.
First pitch, 7:05.
The 1-0. A swing and a miss. That's the first strike. Very mild temperatures as we begin tonight. 58 degrees here at first pitch. Clearly fooled there on the slider.
Swing and a miss on a nasty slider right there. Always felt toughest pitch in the game. If you're a guy who liked to work the big part of the field, you were on that fastball middle away. Well, that slider looked like a heater for about 56 feet 6 inches.
He'll try again. 1-2. There's a shin-high slider laid off for a ball. Swung on and missed. Really fooled him that time for the first out.
It's always nice to keep a guy that has good wheels off base, and that's just what they did right there. Big strikeout, keep that guy off the base path.
Here's Jason Hayward now, as he will take strike 1 on the fastball here. No balls and a strike. The windup and the 0-1. And set up behind the plate is Joe McDonald, as you see the rest of our umpiring crew in this one.
Hey, Joe McDonald, he's a tough guy to figure out sometimes, D-Row. One inning, he'll be given that inside corner. The next inning, he doesn't give much of that inside corner. His zone fluctuates a lot.
You know, Dan, you could see some definite confusion on the face of some hitters today. Questioning in the strike zone. One pitch is a strike on the outer half. The next time it's a ball. Kind of a little cat and mouse with the umpire when you should be focused on the pitcher.
A little too tall that time. 3-1 now.
Good job to work the count and put himself back in the driver's seat. Started off with 1 strike, and now he's got the count in his favor. 3-1.
The 3-1. And he lays off here, ball 4, and he'll become the game's first base runner here with 1 away.
You know, it takes a lot of discipline to watch a pitch like that go by, but on a 3-1 count, he had the luxury of being a little bit more selective up there. Good take and a walk is the result.
Now it'll be Dominic Smith. First shot for him here with a runner at first now and one away. From the belt, the pitch. As the first pitch misses to him, it's ball one.
Pretty good pitch right there. Fastball in off the plate. One of the things you want to do as a pitcher, try to stand those hitters up.
1-0 count. Here it is. Fastball taken, but that gets the zone for a strike. Hayward, base runner at first with one out. No offer on that one. 2 balls and a strike.
Not a bad spot to miss right there. Much rather have it run inside than out over the plate where the hitter can do a lot of damage.
Now the 2-1. And now a ball hit pretty well down that right field line. This has some carry to it, and it is gone. Home run. So a 2-run homer down the line in right field as the Cubs are out in front now 2-0.
We were wondering who was going to strike first with the long ball. What a moment for him right there. Home run in the World Series. No one can ever take that away from him.
Trevor Story steps in now as he'll take a look at a slider here that misses for ball one. Into his windup. Here comes the 1-0. There's a fastball right down Broadway taken for a strike.
Looked like he was going to wait him out, see if he was going to come over the heart of the plate. Well, newsflash, he is, and this hitter's going to adjust his batting gloves, and he better be ready in the box.
And he's keeping it down here, and that's a called strike 2.
Hey, I love that pitch right there. Better execution after just giving up an extra base hit.
To 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
I know he missed with a fastball right there, but this guy's arsenal, you can't figure out what he's trying to do. He's got a lot of different directions he could go in right here.
Way inside with that one. A pretty easy take there. Waiting next is Anthony Rizzo. Now the 3-2 pitch.
Put that in a memory bank. First time he breaks out a curveball right there, and it's a pretty good one.
Payoff pitch one more time. Holds off on the slider, and that's a good idea as it's ball 4.
At this rate, he's going to set some kind of a record for walks issued in a game, or he'll get an early hook. We'll see if he can settle down here and start to find the strike zone, or if he continues to struggle.
Now into the box, Anthony Rizzo. After the walk, a quick check on first. And again a throw, and the runner back. Here's the first pitch to him, as he'll take a look at ball 1.
I think this inning could have far-reaching effects in this game. They're really making him work, and unless he dials it in, it's probably going to limit how deep he goes into this game.
One 1-0 pitch on the way.
You thank your lucky stars when you get a chance to hit behind a guy with as much speed as he has on first base. The entire defense is on guard, and you know probably there's a fastball coming.
Now the 2-0. He's running. Offered at and missed. Here's the throw. And it skips in as he steals the bag easily.
Well, they threw over there multiple times thinking he was going to try to swipe that bag, so they were onto him, but he just waited it out and took off when he had the chance. Nice job of base running there.
1 out and a runner on second base. Hit weakly back to the mound. And that's the second out. Now at the plate is Ian Happ, and a great chance here for the Cubbies to add on in just the first inning. From the stretch, here's the pitch.
Even though it's early on in this one, anytime you get runners in scoring position, you'd like to knock them in.
And it's 1-2.
Woo-wee. That was some smoke right there. High fire right on by.
Up to an even 30 pitches here in the first inning. Fastball. Whoa, look out. That just about got him in the coconut.
Well, that'll wake everyone up. Anytime you buzz the tower like that, there's reason for people to start getting a little bit edgy.
Outside in a full count, 3-2.
Now on 3-2 as a pitcher, you've got to go with the pitch that you feel most comfortable throwing with.
As a look, now the pitch. Too high, ball 4. And they're at the corners now with 2 away.
Well, some might say a walk there is okay because you've got first base open, but he's been struggling out there. And if you're going to work around hitters, you don't want to work around hitters in the bottom of the lineup.
So runners at the corners with 2 gone, and that'll bring up Jorge Soler to hit next. Now here's the first offering. Hard hit toward the hole. Oh, a diving effort as it's off his glove. And a good effort here, but he's well safe at first, and there are 2 on and 2 out now.
Just an excellent job of bat head discipline right there. Able to go below the zone. That pitch is not a strike. That was actually a pretty nasty pitch, and he was able to go down and spoil it.
Here's the young catcher, Wilson Contreras. 3 across so far in the inning, and another 2 out there on base.
Yeah, Matt, and this inning's really starting to get away from them on the defensive side of the ball. Stranding the rest of those guys out here feels absolutely essential for them at this point.
From the belt, the pitch. And a half-hearted swing there as he tried to go the other way, and it's strike 1.
Ugh, was that ugly? You could probably throw anything out there to this guy. He'd swing at the rosin bag if you throw it up there.
From the belt, the pitch. Tries to shave the corner with that pitch, but it's 1-1. A little behind on that swing, and now he'll try to shorten up maybe and protect the plate. Hoping to send him packing. Pitch on its way. And he strikes him out here, so he's able to stop the bleeding a bit as this side is retired. So they get 3 runs on 2 base hits, with one of them being the big home run. We'll move on to the bottom half of inning number 1. The Cubbies are in front 3-0. Kyle Hendricks is on the mound here on the road for Game 1 of the World Series. Dan Plesac, what do you got?
Hey, this guy's a throwback to when you didn't have to throw the ball through a brick wall. Great assortment of pitches, Kyle Hendricks. He sinks it, he cuts it, has a great changeup, moves the ball in, out, up, and down. Certainly won't blow up a radar gun, but you know what you're going to get every 5 days from this guy? As consistent a starting pitcher as there is in the league right now.
Left fielder coming on, and he tracks it down. Nice play for the first out. So now into the box is Peter Doby. First pitch of the AB now. Check swing, but he held up in time. Ball 1.
Well, the key for him on the mound is to keep the ball down. Certainly, hollow of the knee or lower. Sinker changeup guy, if he's going to succeed against this lineup, he's got to keep the ball down.
Throw in time at first for out number 2.
Batting third.
And with 2 away here in Game 1 of the World Series, let's give you a little refresher course at the roads these two teams took to get where they are tonight. And that'll bring Mike Trout to the dish. His matchup numbers with Hendricks. He's a .333 hitter. Infield in the overshift here. Now the pitch. First pitch here is a sinker that runs a bit too wide. It's ball 1. Counts even to Trout, 1-1.
2-pitch mix here. If you're in the batter's box, you're looking for something up. Sinker changeup right here. Got to get it up.
Here's Trout waiting on the 1-1. Looks like he swung it underwater that time for strike 2. Nearly got the inside, but ruled the ball. 2 out, nobody on. Full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes to the Angels center fielder.
And you know what? Give this guy some credit up there because this had the look of being a very quick inning. He's been able to stretch this at bat out a little bit.
We'll leave it right there as he strikes out, and that ends the inning. Angels go down 1-2-3. Still down 3-0. Now at the plate here is David Doby. He'll get us started in the top of the second.
For me, this is an important add-on inning here. Their little lead is cute. I like it, but keeping the pressure on, building that lead, that's how you bury someone.
And now the first pitch.
Wow, that's 40 pitches for him already. This doesn't have the makings of a start that he's going to go very deep.
The 1-0. Grounded down the third baseline, but a foul ball, 1-1. Now here it comes. Grounded up the first baseline, but a foul ball. 1-2 the count now. Popped him up. Coleman over to his left, looks it into his glove, and there's one gone.
The batter number 2, second baseman, Nico Horner.
Back to the top of the order now, and up next, Nico Horner. First offering. Strike taken up in the zone.
Hey, when you're featuring a mid-90s fastball like this pitcher, attack with that pitch. Get ahead. Get the offense on their toes. That opens up the off-speed pitches later in the game.
Behind 0-2 now. One out, nobody on. Good job to spoil that one away, and he stays alive.
Looked like he was cheating a heater right there. A little bit too far out in front. Got to find a way to keep his hands back.
That was swing and a miss. He struck him out, and it's 2 up, 2 down to start the second.
He's looking a lot sharper and has settled in here in the second inning. It'd be hard not to because that first inning was pretty much a mess. But I give him credit for letting it go and making some really good adjustments.
So that'll bring up Jason Hayward as he'll swing and pop it up toward the left side of the infield. Posey is there. No problem with this one, and the inning is over. Cubs are down in order, but they lead it 3-0. So now the Angels cleanup batter, Joey Gallo. He'll start things out against Kyle Hendricks as we get the inning underway.
Gallo.
Infield shifted well to the right. Here's the first pitch.
Love the early lead, but this game is far from over. Got to stay on top of what you're trying to do out there and execute pitches.
Lays off the sinker here, a ball and a strike. Sinker misses that time, and it's 2-1. Into the windup and the pitch. And that one never threatened the zone. It's gone full now to 3-2.
Looked like he tried to elevate a fastball on that 2-2 pitch there, but kind of overdid it. With a pitch that high, it's pretty easy to lay off if you're the hitter.
Something has to give. Here's the payoff pitch. And he can only battle for so long as he's finally set down here after an 8-pitch at-bat. So one down, no one aboard, and that'll bring up Brendan Rodgers. First pitch on the way. Now a check swing, but it's strike one anyway, says the home plate umpire. Hendricks has a reputation as a strike thrower, although that doesn't often result in a ton of strikeouts. A typical start may find him with a low walk total and the ball in play a lot.
Matty, he's what they call today one of those pitch to contact kind of guys. He has good stuff, not great stuff. He relies a lot on his defense, and one of the keys, he's not afraid to throw the ball in the strike zone. With that said, he needs some defense behind him because he's not going to get a whole lot of swings and misses.
Into the windup. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. And a fastball swung on and missed as he just reared back there. 2 away.
Every pitcher looks to get off to a good start, and I'd say he's off to a good start. How about the first 5 batters he's faced? 3 of them he's sent down via the strikeout.
And at the plate is Drew Waters, as he'll take a look at an off-speed pitch here that misses for ball 1. He'll attempt to put the ball in play for a change here with the first 2 guys going down on strikes to start the inning. A bouncer to the left side, fielded cleanly over to first, and that retires the side. Angels are gone in order. They trail it here 3-0. Welcome back. Here's Heidi Watney with a report as we get set for the top of the third. Heidi?
Thanks, Matt. In between innings, I was able to catch up with the manager of the Cubs to discuss his thoughts on his lineup so far. And overall, he's really happy with the at-bats they're putting together. They've already worked out 3 walks, so he feels as though that kind of willingness to let the opposition work themselves into trouble will continue to result in good things for them on the scoreboard.
Good stuff, Heidi. Thanks. All set for the start of the inning. Coming forward, the veteran outfielder, Dominic Smith.
Going back to that last AB, that was the express. That was an upper 90s fastball that he turned around. So I think with this guy, you might want to try to incorporate some more off-speed pitches.
First pitch on the way, as he'll get caught chasing a bad one there. It's strike 1.
Hey, not too often we see this hitter come outside his game plan, outside the zone, but that pitch was just so tempting.
The windup and the 0-1. And, he can't get out of the way of that one, so the leadoff man will be on to open the frame.
Wow, he's not even being subtle about it. He almost hits him with the previous pitch, and then he actually does it with the next one. Going to be interesting to see if they seek revenge at some point.
And that brings in the power-hitting shortstop, Trevor Story. 0-1 the count. A ball and a strike to Trevor Story.
That was a tempting pitch to swing at right there. A big power guy like this really wants something that he can elevate and drive out of the ballpark.
1-2. Now a fastball taken outside here as it moves it to 2-2 now. Has a look, now the pitch. Now a swing and a miss as he picks up another one. Make it 4 strikeouts already, and there's your first out.
Well, that's just a quality pitch right there. The location was excellent because if it's put in play, there's a good chance it's on the ground for a double play. And, hey, a strikeout always works, too.
And that'll bring Anthony Rizzo to the plate as he takes a cold strike at the knees. It's 0-1. He's 0 for 1 after grounding out in his only trip to the plate so far. One and 1 the count to the Cubs first baseman. Skied into straightaway right. Gallo is there to put it away, and the runner will be forced to retreat back to first. Digging in will be Ian Happ. Worked a walk his first time up. From the belt, kicks and deals. And he's a bit tardy there on the first pitch fastball. It's 0-1.
We're only in the third inning, and his pitch count is above 60. That's not being too efficient with your pitches.
The 0-1 delivery.
Hey, he's done an amazing job of settling down. 2 innings ago, I thought they were going to run him out of here. But now he's close to posting 2 shutout innings as a response.
Oh, 0-2, here it comes. In under the hands with a fastball, it's 1-2. And a curveball swung on and missed, and a great call there as the inning is over. One left for the Cubs. They lead it 3-0.
And leading up for the Angels, the catcher, number 7.
Now the pitch. Swing and a ball hard hit toward deep right. Around first, digging for 2. And a high bounce will take it over the outfield wall, and he kicks off the inning with a ground rule double.
There's a deep fly ball. Doesn't quite get out of the ballpark, but it hits in the right spot as it bounces off that hard warning track and over the wall for a ground rule double. Not sure if he had triple on his mind, but I doubt he'll complain too much about getting to coast into second base.
Runner in scoring position here already following the ground rule double. The 1-0. Oh, right back to him on the mound. And an unproductive at-bat that time as the runner holds at second with 1 away now. Stepping up is Conrad Coleman. First offering.
The offense better get it going right here, because they certainly can tell from their dugout this guy is carrying himself with a presence out on the mound. He's got feel for all his pitches.
Behind 0-2 now. Working for the punch out and the offering. And he goes up the ladder on him, but he lays off 1-2.
If I'm in the box, you take a step out right here. Take a deep breath after that high fastball. You got to be leery of him burying something in the dirt.
Here's another 1-2. On the ground to the left side. And that's through into left, a base hit. He'll come home with it. But this won't be in time as he's well safe and the run scores.
The batter number 14, second baseman, Contreras.
So now to the plate, Yolmer Sanchez. As the first pitch to him is a changeup that can't find the zone. It's ball 1. Flew out in his only at-bat so far. The 1-0. Lifted in the air out to left. Smith will range to his left as he tracks this one down in left center for the second out of the inning. Next, it'll be Peter Doby. He bounced out last time up.
Yeah, Matty, and it looked like a sinker in his last AB that got him to roll over. Kind of similar situation right here. Similar stuff on the mound. Look for them to try and get him to do exactly the same thing as his last AB. He's got to fight to get it elevated just a little bit more.
Good breaking ball, but he missed inside with it. A ball and a strike. Hit out towards second. He's got it. And the throw pulls him off the base, and the inning's going to continue.
This is a head-scratcher. I mean, that's the shortest throw on the infield, and somehow he lets it sail wide of the mark for an E4. A couple more like that, and doubt starts to creep into the second baseman's mind.
Here's the center fielder, Mike Trout. As he'll wait out a breaking pitch here that finds the zone for strike 1. Looking to put the ball in play here. He went down on strikes in his first at-bat. The 0-1 pitch. Behind 0-2 now.
He's got a good feel for his off-speed pitches second time through the order, and we just saw 3 in a row.
Again, he sends it out of play. Weak grounder back to the mound. On to first, and that'll do it as they manage to not let this inning get out of hand. One in the inning here for the Angels on a couple of hits. All set for the start of the fourth, and that'll bring up Jorge Soler to hit next.
Jorge Soler.
And now the first pitch. As he'll take a look at a curveball that drops in there on the outer half, it's strike one. The windup and the 0-1. And he swings on top and sends it on the ground out to second. That's through for a base hit, his second of the ball game.
Hey, some guys can handle the postseason lights, and this is obviously one of them. Another base hit leading off for the boys. This guy's had a monster postseason so far.
Next to hit will be Wilson Contreras, as the first pitch to him runs a bit inside for ball one. Comes into this at bat 0 for 1 in the ball game. The 1-0 is swung on and missed, strike one.
That's a real nice location with that fastball up and in on the hands. Hard to do much with that because a hitter really can't extend his arms very easily.
Soler on at first, nobody out. No contact there, and it's 1-2.
The problem for the batter now is he's gotten so inside conscious after those first two pitches. Anything on the outer half of the plate's going to look a foot outside.
And a fastball swung on and missed as they set him down for the second time here tonight. Got him with a good high fastball there. Danny, we see a lot of that pitch in strikeout situations these days. What makes it so effective?
I think, Matt, what makes it such a tough pitch is you're changing eye levels. That fastball up looks so enticing to hit that you think you see that ball as a hitter, you think you can drive it, but it's really hard to get on top of that good high hard fastball.
0 for 1 for him here in this one. Comes set with the 0-1.
Great game plan so far by this offense. They're not chasing any of those breaking balls out of the zone.
Look out, a fastball up near his dome, and that'll wake you up a bit.
I certainly don't think there was any intention there, but when you see a fastball elevated coming at your face, your first thing is to get out of the way.
Two balls and a strike. Here it comes.
It's one thing to get hit around, but it's far worse when you're getting yourself into trouble by not throwing strikes. Every pitcher's been there, but it doesn't make it any less frustrating or unacceptable.
The 3-1 hit sharply on the ground to the left, and that gets through for a one-out base hit.
That's the battle, Matty. Working yourself into a 3-1 count, having count leverage and getting ahead to a fastball. You don't get too many opportunities throughout the course of a game to have full count leverage, and he took advantage.
At the plate now, Nico Horner, as he'll take a look at a high strike that time. It's 0-1. He's 0 for 2 in the ballgame so far. The 0-1 on its way. Now a ball lined hard toward right center. And this is going to wind up as extra bases, as that'll play one for sure and maybe a second. And this will not be close, and the run will score easily.
Just a great at-bat there. That one-out double gets a run across, and now they've got runners at second and third and are one solid swing away from making this a real big inning.
Here comes the Angels manager now as he makes the slow walk toward the mound. And we're going to see a pitching change as that's going to do it for his starter here tonight. So as he leaves, I would imagine these fans would not be much pleased with his performance here this evening, as he certainly was not sharp. Jackson Goddard answers the call from the pen here in the fourth, as they didn't get the outing they were hoping for from their starter. To the plate now, Jason Hayward, as he lays off a fastball too low for ball one. Four runs, 5 hits, 1 error for the Cubs to this point. Pitch popped up. Oh, and this deflects right off him. And he'll reach first as they can't make the play on him.
The left fielder, number 3, Dominic Smith.
Standing in now, Dominic Smith fouled off. He launched one over the wall back in the opening frame. Oh, 1 count. Here's the pitch. Called strike. 0-2.
Might have to change your game plan in the box right here. If he's going to pound away, might have to work the opposite field.
Fouled away. The 0-2 once more. Pulled toward right center field. Long run for the right fielder. Makes the catch, but the runner from third breaks for home. And they'll add one more to the lead. It's now a 5-1 ball game.
Always productive to score runs when you can, and that sacrifice fly right there drives home the second run of the inning.
Stepping in next, Trevor Story. He went down on strikes last time up.
Yeah, and kind of shocked he got blown away with a fastball. You could tell he was late on that one, and we'll see if he tries to cheat to something this AB.
As he'll take a look at a pitch too low. It's ball 1. Downstairs, 2 balls and no strikes.
Great chance right here as a hitter to be really aggressive. With 2 guys already on, pretty good shot. He's going to get a challenge pitch right here.
Runners on first and third, 2 away. Down low, and the plot thickens here. 3-0.
If I'm managing this hitter right here, he doesn't even have to look down at the third base coach. You know he's got the green light. He's one of the best hitters in your lineup.
And he misses with it for ball 4, so the bases will be loaded now with 2 away.
I think he was trying to be a little too fine there, and a walk is the result. Well, the good news is he has a force at every base. The bad news? A single probably drives in a couple of runs.
So next to hit is Anthony Rizzo. Flew out last time up. He's ready. Here's the first pitch. And here's a fastball called for strike 1.
Even though we're still in the early going, I think this game's at a tipping point right now. They've got a chance to put this game out of reach, but if they can't score any more here, the other guys feel like the door's still open.
There's a fastball pretty close that time, but ruled a ball. 1-1. A ball and 2 strikes to Anthony Rizzo. It's fouled away. Got him. So the damage winds up not being as bad as it could have been, as they'll strand the bases loaded. The side is retired. So they wind up with 2 in the inning, but it could have been a lot worse as they leave the bases loaded. On now to the bottom half of inning number 4. Cubs lead it 5-1. So now it'll be the 4-hole hitter, Joey Gallo, struck out in his first at-bat.
Yeah, but it was a good changeup, Matty. Good arm action on that pitch. Look for him to try and stay back a little bit more. Let the ball get a little deeper. Don't be shocked if this pitcher tries to rush a heater right here.
And a fastball's in there for strike 1. Changeup gets him out in front for strike 2.
This guy's been really on point so far, but it's not getting any easier. He has to get through 4, 5, and 6 right here.
Back up the middle. It's through for a base hit, and he's 1 for 2 now. So it's a good start for the Halos as their leadoff hitter reaches base.
I don't know what side of the fence I fall on, boys. Old school, new school. I think I kind of stand right along that fence. But one thing that gets me jacked up is watching guys grind down in the count and drive base hits the other way.
Brendan Rodgers bats next, as he'll go after the first pitch and bounce it into foul territory. He's 0 for 1 thus far. A ball and a strike. And they'll go off speed here as this pitch misses. It's 2-1. 5-1 our score as we play the 4th here. Won't go after the 2-1 sinker, and it's 3 balls and a strike now.
Hey, he's had great command all day. Want to see how aggressive he is in the zone with a 3-ball count.
Ready on 3-1. Here it comes. And a changeup swung on and missed for the first out.
That was some nice execution on that pitch. Spotted it nicely down around the bottom of the zone. And when you do that, especially with 2 strikes, not a lot of guys are going to hurt you. You're going to get a lot of ground balls and swings and misses down there.
In now, Drew Waters. And he puts it on the ground to second. There's one. On to Rizzo, but a little slow in developing as they'll just get the 1 out. Next, here is Reese Maguire. He scored a run after stroking a double in his first at-bat.
Yeah, he did a great job to go down and get that one his last at-bat. But I got to think they're going to pitch him up, maybe elevate something in the zone. Interested to see how he approaches this next AB.
The 1-0 is chased out of the zone for strike 1.
Hey, he's got great feel for that pitch right there. He can throw it anytime he wants for a strike.
Swing and a liner, but this will get foul. It's a ball and 2 strikes. In the air out toward right field. Hayward has a read on it. He handles it easily, and the inning is over. Angels strand 1. They're down here 5-1. And that'll bring in the Pittsburgh area native Ian Happ.
The center fielder, number 8, Ian Happ.
And now the first pitch. A fastball here as he'll take a look at ball 1, 1-0. Sent on the ground out to second. And the 5th inning will start with a ground out, 1 away. There's a look at the final line for the Angels starter. Clearly not the postseason outing he had envisioned.
Well, you could see right from the get-go that he didn't bring his A game, had a very difficult time getting through the lineup, and as a matter of fact, wasn't able to even get out of the fourth inning. So the bullpen's going to have to do a really big job of finishing out the rest of this game.
First pitch on the way. Jorge Soler stands in as he checks his swing here for strike one. Swing and a miss on the slider, and he's quickly behind 0-2.
I know that feeling. Played 14 years in the big leagues and still can't hit a slider.
And this is swung on and missed, so it's 2 up, 2 down to start the fifth.
That's not an at-bat he's going to look back on and be happy about. Obviously, the strikeout result isn't good, but to go down on 3 pitches and none of which were even in the strike zone, as you see there, that's not a good look.
Into the box, Wilson Contreras. As the first pitch misses to him, it's ball 1. No hits to this point. That evens it up 1-1. A strike to Contreras, and it's 1-1. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count.
Not surprised he's laid on a heater right there. Just saw an off-speed pitch. Wanted to stay back a little bit too long.
Lofted in the air out toward right center. Trout gets there for the catch, and that ends the inning. 3 up, 3 down for the Cubs. They lead this one, though, 5-1. Welcome back for the bottom of the 5th. Here's Heidi Wackney.
Matt, I had a chance to discuss the state of the Angels offense with their manager between innings, and he told me he's pretty unhappy with their discipline at the plate in this one. He said their pitch selection has been the main reason for their struggles today, as far too often they've been swinging at pitches outside the strike zone. That's leading to a lot of soft contact and easy outs, so the focus going forward is on shrinking the zone and forcing the opposing pitching to throw more strikes.
Okay, thank you, Heidi.
For the Angels, the third baseman, Cody.
Here's the first pitch. As he'll take a look at ball 1.
There's the heavy sinker right there. What makes that pitch so difficult to hit is not only does it change eye levels, it actually changes plane. You go to hit it at one position, and it's 6 to 8 inches dropping off the table and chasing your hands.
And the inning begins with a quick out number 1. Next up, Conrad Coleman. He singled in his first AB. The pitch. A ball and no strikes. It's a 5-1 game here in inning number 5. Tough to do much with that one. A swing and a miss. Coleman has had his trouble in these matchups, facing right-handed pitching, that is. He shows a lot more prowess against the southpaws. A ball and 2 strikes now. And Dan, that's a pretty good example of why he's such a great pitcher.
Yeah, stuff. Stuff is obviously the important key to being dominant on the mound, but it doesn't mean a whole lot if you don't have outstanding control to go along with it. But he does, and he really spotted that pitch.
Back to the top of the Angels lineup now, and stepping in, Yolmer Sanchez. 0 for 2 from him so far in this one. Here's the pitch. Now a ball hit towards Story at short. Throw on to first gets him, and the side is retired. Angels go down 1-2-3. They're down 5-1. So in now for Chicago, David Doby. He'll start things out now in the top half of the 6th.
Number 13, David Doby.
First pitch on its way. Down on the shins and missed with it. Ball 1. A couple of righties starting to loosen now in the bullpen. And he falls behind now, 2-0.
I don't mind him trying to pitch him backwards right there with those 2 early count sliders, but now he finds himself in a situation where he's going to have to come fastball.
2-1 after the foul ball there. Into the windup and the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed for the first out.
You know what was really impressive to me about that strikeout? He fell behind 2-0 to start the at-bat. That's a pretty bad place to be, but then he kind of refocused himself and came right back with 3 quality pitches in a row to sit him down. That's not easy to do, but now his focus has to hone in on getting ahead on the next guy.
Nico Horner comes on with 1 gone here as he looks at a called strike 1. He's working on a 1 for 3 thus far. Into the windup. Here comes the 0-1. And here's one that misses to the Chicago second baseman. It's a ball and a strike. Maybe too much break on the slider. 2-1.
Big sweeping breaking ball right there. A good pitch. But if he wants to get him to swing at it, he'll have to bring it in a little bit closer to the strike zone.
The 2-1 is taken for strike 2. And he fouls this one off. The 2-2 one more time. A swing and a ground ball to third. Throw on to first, 2 gone.
Now batting.
2 away now for the Cubs in the 6th, and that'll bring up the multi-gold glover Jason Hayward. Wheels and deals. Here's the first pitch.
Hey, this is a huge at-bat right here. This pitcher wants to end this inning and have 3, 4, 5 due up to start the next inning.
The windup and the 0-1. We're in the 6th inning now, a 5-1 ball game. In for a strike, and he jumps ahead 1-2 now.
He's in complete command of his 2-seamer right now. It's got great movement, great depth, running all over the place. This offense is going to have a tough time.
Again, a 1-2.
The classic back foot slider right there with 2 strikes. Usually gets a ton of swing and misses. Nice layoff right there. Fight for another pitch.
Swung on and missed, and that's the final out of the inning. Cubs are down in order. They're up 5-1. So here is Peter Doby, and through 5 turns at bat, they've only mustered a total of 3 hits. Not terrible, but they're certainly not firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, they're definitely just not having consistent quality ABs. The game plan they had coming in hasn't worked, and I'm interested to see if they're willing to change it up a little bit.
Ready to deal. Here comes the first pitch. Ooh, started him with the change, and it's 0-1. Swing and a liner. That gets down, and he's got himself a base hit.
Now batting, center fielder, Mike Trout.
At the plate, Mike Trout. Pitch out. Nothing doing. Doby gets his lead at first. Nobody out. Two and 0.
That can be one of the downfalls of pitching out. It puts you behind in the count, and if you throw another ball, you're kind of in a difficult spot.
Now a pitch swung on and missed. It's 2-1.
All you want is the leadoff man to get on to start a big inning, maybe get a big rally going to claw your way back into this ball game.
Two balls and a strike. Here it comes. On a good pitch there, had him stretching to get out there, and it's 2-2 now.
This is why the manager pencils these guys in the middle of the order. Big spot, time for them to get back in this game with a couple quality ABs.
The 2-2 one more time. Is swung on and missed. Strike three. Up next, Joey Gallo. He's 1 for 2 in this one.
Gallo.
Now here's the first offering, as he'll take a look at an off-speed pitch here that misses for ball one. Changed up on him and dropped it in for a called strike. One and two now, as that's in there at the knees. From the belt, the pitch, and here's a changeup in there for a called third strike, and that's the second out of the inning. That's back-to-back strikeouts now, as they've been unable to advance that leadoff single into scoring position.
Yeah, clearly no problems working out of the stretch right now, Matt. He's taking control of this inning after giving up that hit. Now we'll see if he can finish it off strong as well.
Two men are out now in the Angels' sixth, and that'll bring up Brendan Rodgers. First things first, here's a throw over, and he'll get dirty, but he's back in safely. Ready to deliver. Here comes the first pitch.
Outside, that's a ball.
1 run, 4 hits, and no errors to this point for the Angels. Ball 2.
Couple strikeouts early in the game, but he's done a much better job in this at bat, trying to get ahead and put himself in a good hitter's count.
Too tight with that one. 3-0. Three and one.
Can't waste getting the leadoff runner on in this situation. Someone's got to bear down and get a big knock.
A runner on first with 2 away. Count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
3-2, 2 out, runner on first. Lots of possible outcomes on this pitch.
And that misses, ball 4. So it's first and second now with 2 out.
Yeah, and if you can make it all the way to the 6th inning before you give up a walk, you're doing something right. He's been very efficient so far, so we'll see if he can get back on track here.
Digging in next, Drew Waters. 0 for 2 for him to this point. First pitch of the AB on its way. Lifted the other way down the left field line. But this is going to wind up a foul ball.
Well, the Angels have been searching for that big hit pretty much all game. It remains to be seen if they can get it, but now sure would be a great time.
Off the plate, 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1 to third, reined in. And the 2-out threat won't pay off. The inning is over. No runs, a hit, 2 left. On to the 7th here in game 1. It's the Cubs 5 and the Angels 1. Scott Alexander is on to pitch from the bullpen now to start inning number 7. Seventh inning ready to roll, and standing in the outfielder, Dominic Smith.
Dominic Smith.
And now a pitch on the way. And that one's in on the hands to start the inning. It's ball one.
Yeah, Matty, they certainly got it right when they drafted this guy. He has turned himself into an absolute superstar. Everybody knows this guy's name, and kids are buying his jerseys.
Called strike at the knees, 1-1. 1-2 to Dominic Smith.
You have to find a way to lay off that low sinker. There is just no way to do any damage. You're just looking at either a bruised shin or a ground out to the left side.
Sanchez will stay with it as he backs up and puts it away. One gone. The next Cub up, Trevor Story. It was a walk in his last trip. First pitch on the way. Sinker to open the AB in there for strike one. And this misses the outside corner, so it's knotted up at 1-1. Here's the pitch.
Yeah, Matty, you see the same pitch 3 times in a row and you find yourself down 1-2 in the count. Your head starts to get on a swivel here. Is he coming back with it 4 times, or do I have to sit on something else?
The count now at 2-2. Out in front here is this one scorched foul to the left. The 2-2 one more time.
Well, you don't see it all that often, but this might be a good time for a 3-2 change. If he can locate it, it's nearly impossible to hit.
Line to short, but gobbled up there, and there are 2 away.
The first baseman, number 44,
Anthony Rizzo stands in now. No hits in 3 tries so far. He's struck out once. He's set. Here it comes. Too much dip on the sinker. Laid off for a ball. Here's a strike with the breaking ball. Now the 1-1 pitch. Waves and misses for strike number 2. A swing and a miss at a sinker. The strikeout retires the side. Inning is over. 3 up, 3 down for the Cubs. They lead this one, though, 5-1. So stepping in is Reese Maguire. It was a flyout for him in his last trip.
number 7.
He's ready. Here's the first pitch. That's lifted the other way out to left. Smith has him played perfectly as he puts it away for out number 1. And now in the box, Cody Hosey. He's hitless in his 2 at-bats so far. Now here's the first offering. 7th inning here in a 5-1 ball game. Now a ball slapped hard the opposite way, but he'll barely have to move out there and right as he hauls this one in for the 2nd out.
Now batting, first baseman, Conrad Coleman.
Next to stand in is Conrad Coleman, grounded out in his last at-bat. He's ready. Here's the first pitch. Curveball looked at here for strike one.
Although he doesn't use that pitch too much, if he's able to steal some strikes early in the count, could be something they have to think about.
And he falls behind 0-2.
There's another pitch for a strike, and this guy's really attacking hitters well tonight, being aggressive early on. And if he continues to throw strikes like he is, he's going to have a pretty good night.
The windup and the 0-2 pitch. Now a good pitch around the knees, but it doesn't quite catch the bottom of the zone. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes now. And he struck him out, his 7th of the ball game, and that ends the inning. Angels are gone in order. They're down here 5-1. Edgar Alanis has been summoned from the bullpen as he'll do so to start the 8th. Ready to begin the 8th, and coming forward is the switch hitting outfielder Ian Happ.
Center fielder Ian Happ.
Wheels and deals. Here's the first pitch. He's set. Here's the 0-1. Swung on but fouled off to the left. Here's the 0-2.
Don't be shocked if this pitcher tries to go a little bit further outside the zone. 3 foul balls in a row. He wants to get a swing and a miss on this next pitch.
The next 0-2 misses, and that'll move it to 1-2 now. Swing and a miss as he ran the fastball right by him for the first out. Good job of making him chase a pitch for the strikeout there.
Yeah, Matt, that's the advantage of getting ahead in the count. You can really force hitters to expand their zone and protect. And when they're in that mode, getting them to go after a pitch they can't do much with becomes a lot easier.
In is Jorge Soler, as he'll look at a fastball too high for ball 1. He's 2 for 3 and looking for more here. Tried to get some loft to that swing, but it's 1-1. And now we see a right-hander up and throwing in the Angel bullpen. 5-1 our score as we play the 8th. Well below the knees, laid off on the changeup there. Just off the inside part of the plate. It's 3-1. Hitters count all the way. Here it comes. And a fastball misses there. Ball 4.
The catcher, number 40, Wilson.
Next to hit is Wilson Contreras. He flew out in his last AB. He comes set. Here's the 0-0 pitch. As he swings and misses at a first pitch fastball. 0-1.
Hey, either this hitter needs a cup of coffee or he was sitting off speed right there.
Ball 1. Alanis, a 5'10" right-hander. This is his first year at the big league level. hit the target, but this is low, 2-1. So there, the runner at first with one gone in the inning. Two and two to the Cubs catcher.
He's staring a hat trick in the face right now after that swing. He has just got to find a way to zone up a little bit more. You cannot expect to make solid contact chasing stuff outside the zone.
Struck him out. Struck him out again, I should say. His third punch out of the game. What's your take on all the strikeouts we see in the game today, Dan? That was his third tonight, and it seems we're seeing that a lot more these days.
Yeah, Matt, there's been a real change in philosophy as far as hitting in baseball today. A lot of guys think now that an out is an out. A strikeout is just as good as a regular out, but we're seeing strikeouts at an alarming rate in baseball right now.
David Doby is in with two away here as this one swung on and missed for the first strike. He's ready. Here's the 0-1. Fouled off. Two out with the man at first. And a half-hearted swing there as they tie him up inside for the third strike, and the inning is over. Cubs strand one. They're up 5-1. So the lineup flips over, and digging in, Yolmer Sanchez. We're in the 8th now, and nothing's changed out there on the mound.
Well, I've been very impressed with how this starter's gone about his business, Matt. He's looked really sharp, and it's hard to know if it's had any effect, but getting that early lead from his offense could have really helped settle him in.
First pitch of the AB on its way. And now the Cubs bullpen will start working here as both a lefty and a righty are up. The 1-0. Sent in the air out to straightaway center. Happ is right there, one down. So the next to bat will be Peter Doby, singled in his last at bat. Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. Yeah. Bases are empty, one man out. In there, and he's ahead 0-2 now.
Man, this dude is locked in on the mound. He's throwing each pitch with confidence.
Changes up on him, but that's in the dirt for a ball. Here comes the 1-2. Still a ball and 2 strikes. To 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
This is a fun guy to watch when he's up there. Really battles. Doesn't take any pitches off. He's a grinder. Always seems to make it difficult on the opposing pitcher.
Hot shot on the ground is short. Story brings it in time to first, and there are 2 away.
Now batting.
Couldn't have been much closer at first, and as show track will demonstrate for us, it took a throw of over 90 miles an hour just to beat the hustling runner. Really an amazing show of arm strength on that play. Now at the plate, Mike Trout, and they're down to their final 4 outs here, Dan.
Yeah, that's not looking too good for them right now, Matt. They've got a significant hill to climb, but they've got to take it one bat at a time. A couple of guys get on, and then who knows what could happen.
Ready to deal. Here comes the first pitch. Next pitch coming up here will make it an even 100 for the ball game. On his way to pitch number 100. Bases are empty here with 2 men out. Changed things up on him, and he got him to swing through it. 1-2 now.
Yeah, Matty, he's had these guys on a proverbial rocking horse all night, changing speeds, hitting every quadrant. He's tough to hit.
The 2-2.
And obviously, this guy's a double threat up there. He can run and he can go yard, too. You don't want to walk him because he might steal a base on you, but you don't want to groove a fastball either because he could take you out of the yard.
And he struck him out, his 8th punch out of the ball game, and that one ends the inning. Angels go down 1-2-3. They're down 5-1. Chris Davinsky enters from the pen to start the 9th inning as he'll try to keep the score right where it is heading to the bottom of the 9th. All set to start the 9th in this one. And up next, Nico Horner.
Second baseman, Nico Horner.
Wheels and deals. Here's the first pitch. Got him, and he goes down on strikes for the 3rd time.
That's the 3rd time in this game he's gone down on strikes. Not the game he was hoping to have when he was taking batting practice, but at least his guys are ahead.
Stepping in now, Jason Hayward. As the first pitch to him is swung on and missed for strike 1. He's got a hit in 3 at-bats to this point. Into the windup, here comes the 0-1. A swing and a drive to center field. That one's got a chance. And off the batter's eye for a home run. An impressive shot to dead center field. A solo shot that time off the bat of Jason Hayward. And it's now a 6-1 ball game.
Yeah, and if you remember the previous pitch, he couldn't get around on a fastball and was mad at himself. Well, there's nothing to be mad about anymore unless you're the guy standing on the mound wondering what just happened.
So now to the plate, Dominic Smith. As he looks at a fastball that's in there for strike 1. He's working on a 1-for-2 game so far. The windup and the 0-1. Gets the fastball by him here, and he's in control. 0-2.
0-2 count. You could do just about anything you want right now. Up, down, in, out, hard, soft. Good time to be a pitcher.
Still no balls and 2 strikes. Still hanging with him. Another good swing to keep it going. Now another 0-2. Swing and a miss on the changeup, and there are 2 gone. Now the Cubs' 4-hole hitter, Trevor Story. He lined out in his last trip, so looking for better fortunes here.
Yeah, Matty, it's always a little frustrating when you square one up. You hit a solid line drive like he did, and all you have to show for it is a jog back to the dugout. That can get in your head for a little while.
Fouled away. 2 out, nobody on. Oh, and he's got him in the palm of his hand now. It's 0-2.
After that off-balance swing right there, you find yourself down 0-2 and wishing you were back on deck with the donut on your bat, visualizing hitting a home run.
And there's strike 3, so we'll see now if they can manage to hold on to this huge lead as the side is retired. But add on one more as the solo shot stretches their lead even further. Last chance coming up here for the Angels. It's the Cubs 6 and the Angels 1. Andrew Chafin, a 6-foot 2-inch left-hander, jogs in to take over on the hill. So that brings up the big bat of Joey Gallo. He's working on a 1-for-3 thus far.
The right fielder, Joey Gallo.
First pitch of the AB on its way. The 1-0 is taken for ball 2.
Well, this is the matchup they wanted, bringing in the reliever, but falling behind 2-0 doesn't exactly help the situation very much.
Now here's the pitch. 2-1. Lifted in the air to straightaway center. Hap is there, 1 away.
Now batting.
The Cubs are into their bullpen now, as there are the final numbers for their starter. And he really delivered a fantastic postseason performance.
Yeah, he looked really dialed in from start to finish. This is the kind of outing you hope for every time you go out there. So I think he'll feel pretty good about the effort he put forth in this one.
Standing in now, Brendan Rodgers, as he lays off a fastball too low for ball 1. One out, nobody on. High fly ball out to straightaway center. Hap is there, and there are 2 men gone now.
Up next for the Angels.
And now for the Angels, Drew Waters. And he needs to make something happen. They're down to their final out here in the 9th. First offering. High in the air and deep to left center field. Looking up is the left fielder. Still going back. And goodbye. This one ain't coming back. So a solo shot here to left center field as the lead is cut to 4. It's 6-2 now.
Yeah, they have everything to lose in this game, but it's obvious they have zero quitting them. They're going to battle until the last out, and with that homer, they're that much closer to prolonging this series.
In now, Reese Maguire, as he'll watch a slider that stays inside for ball 1. It was a flyout for him in his last trip. Now the 1-0.
This inning really feels like it's getting away from him out there. As a reliever, you can't let that happen. Nothing you can do about what's already happened, and it's only going to get worse if you're not focusing on the guy in the batter's box.
2 balls and a strike to count. And it's fouled away. Angels down to their last strike. And he lays off, so it's full now, 3-2.
When a pitch is close to working through a quick inning, that's when you really need to grind out some at-bats. He's done a good job of that, and that's really big when you're hitting towards the bottom of the order.
Pulled toward right center field. Catch is made, and the Cubs have taken home field advantage right from the start. They claim game 1 on the road as this one is over.
You might think it's just another win, but it's awfully hard to win in this game, especially on the road. But they find a way to get it done, and they should be very happy with this performance.
And tonight's ends at a 6-2 finish. Chicago win the World Series opener and take a 1-0 lead. Kyle Hendricks is the winning pitcher of record. Shohei Ohtani couldn't escape the fourth inning as he slapped with the loss. So that will wrap things up. For Mark DeRosa, Dan Plesac, Heidi Wackney, and our whole crew, I'm Matt Vasgersian. You've been watching MLB The Show. For more, head to theshow.com.
Here now is the final line score tonight. First for the victorious Chicago.